Hey guys, in this video I'm going to do a quick real-time drawing for you of a lion and show you step by step what you can do to create this drawing yourself at home. So first I'm going to start by drawing the crosshairs, which will give me some guidance on symmetry. So I draw a line straight down vertically through my paper, and then I'm going to draw a line horizontal as well. So this will look like a cross. From here, I'm going to draw a circle to represent the skull of the lion. So this is going to be this part of the lion's head. And the circle, when I draw it, I want it to have the cross, where the two guidelines are crossing, be right through the center of the circle. Now, I'm drawing lightly at first because these are guidelines. I'm going to press more firmly as I continue through the drawing. Next, I'm going to draw two circles to resemble the ears and just to kind of get them placed. So I'm going to have the ears be right outside of the circle on the right and the left side. So it's going to kind of look like Mickey Mouse ears at first, right? See that? And the circle's about halfway between these two lines. Next, I'm going to be using circles to represent this area here of the snout and the chin. So what I'm going to do is draw a circle partially overlapping the large circle here on either side of the middle line. And these circles can be a little bit smaller than the ears. A little bit smaller than the ears. And then I'm going to use a half circle underneath. This is the chin. Okay, the bottom jaw. All right. Now, before we get any further, I want to go ahead and show where the fur and the mane will be placed. So all these steps that I'm taking are really helping me create a layout of my entire composition so that I know that everything's going to fit the way I want it to on my page, and then I can go in and get things more detailed. So the top of the hair here is going to go from ear to ear. Okay, just a curved line there. And then the mane, it's going to be the longest at the very bottom center. So I'm going to actually start, I'm going to choose where I want it to end, and that's where I'm going to start this line from. And I'm going to bring the line up and have it connect here to the ear. Okay, and you can kind of come out as far as you want it to go. Same thing here. I just want to make sure that this is symmetrical on both sides. So the same on both sides. I'm comparing to my guidelines, comparing the distance between things, using these crosshairs as my guidance. Okay. Next, I'm going to start working in this area first. I'm going to begin by connecting these little circles to the head. Okay, I'm going to then go into here and I'm going to work on the nose. So right here where these two circles are meeting, this is going to be the nose. The nose, I like to think of it in a cat like this as like a really wide, squished down heart. It's like it's coming down a little bit lower in the center here. And it can come down a little bit between those circles as well. On the outer right and left side, you can just fill that in with a dark oval. That's the nostrils right there. Fill that area in. Okay, and again, I'm just gonna bring this down, kind of come to a point there and up. Okay, I'm gonna also bring a line out on either side next to the nostril, just to give some form to this area of the lion's snout here. Like that. Okay, let's take this down and continue on into the mouth. So a line down from the nose. I'm just going to emphasize this area now underneath these two circles, darken this in. So this is where the mouth opens, the top jaw and the bottom jaw. Maybe make it a little bit thicker right in there. A little darker under here. Okay. All right, I'm gonna start now working up into the eyes. So from here, I'm gonna just take this outside edge of the circle. I'm gonna come up, emphasize that a bit. I'm just gonna bring another little line up, kind of lighter at first at least. So sort of like two parentheses. I'm going to come in a little bit more with another line. Okay, so this is showing right here, that area above the nose. Put a little line on either side here. Again, like two little parentheses. I'm just defining the form some more, showing the areas that stick out the furthest, where the bony parts are. I'm going to put a line here. And here as well, so on either side of that center line. Okay, now for the eyes, just to place the eyes first, I'm going to go ahead and draw two diagonal lines. These are they're really starting right around the horizontal line that I drew. This is just going to help me place the eyes so that as I add detail to the eyes, I'm not having to worry so much about where I'm putting it. I don't want to spend all this time drawing the eye and then find it's not in the place that I want it to be in. So this is just a guideline here. On top of it, I'm going to now draw the circle for the eye. So I'm making a circular shape here. And I'm going to try to match it on the other side symmetrically. Circle about the same size. Okay, and I'm using my lines, my crosshairs that I drew at the beginning to help me understand if it's symmetrical or not. Okay, in the center, I'm gonna bring down a little wing of the inside of the eyelid here. It's gonna be like a little triangle shape that I'm just gonna fill in dark. Bring that down. Fill it in. Okay, I'm also going to just press a little bit firmly and outline the eye, nice and bold. Okay, boldly outline. Again, check, see that they're looking the same on both sides. Fix any differences as I notice them. I'm going to take the top of the circle and kind of bring it out to the side. Fill that in a bit too, almost like it's like the top of the eyelid. Looks a little bit like eyeliner, but it's going to help emphasize the eye and give it a nice expression. Okay, and now a very simple way to create a great animal eye is to start by drawing a circle. Don't fill it in though, leave it white. So let's do that on both sides. I'm gonna make it symmetrical. Try to check and see that it's placed in the same area. Okay, once I feel like it's pretty good, I'm then going to go around the circle and make a nice bold black line, leaving just a ring of white showing at the bottom. So I'm gonna do the same thing again now over here. So I'm gonna go around that white circle, leaving a ring of lightness around. And this is just gonna work really nicely to look like an animal eye for you without, you know, getting too specific and detailed. This is a great, just beginner cat eye. All right, we can add some extra detail in here, like lines around the eyes to show some wrinkles and folds, eyelid wrinkles, under the eye, whoosh, just a little curve there. What I do on one side, I do on the other side right away too. How about one right here? Okay. Now, let's move into the ears. So we're just gonna outline the top portion of the ear. Let's go ahead and put one more line in underneath it too. Okay, so the top circle, top half of the circle, and then another line in there right underneath it. Okay, we're done with the hard part now. We're gonna now start moving into hair. Maybe the only other part I could see you might want to add on the faces if you want to give it a little bit more bone structure and give it like a cheekbone. You could do that. I did that in this one. Okay. All right, now for the hair. A lion's mane. When you look at the hair, not only is it going up out of the head, but it's also growing out. So where the hair is coming out to the left, direction your lines to the left. Where it's coming to the on the right side, you're going to go to the right side. We're just going to work with a whole bunch of zigzaggy lines here. Let's start right in the center with a line here on the forehead and just bring a couple little lines up from there just to show the direction the hair is growing. And then we can kind of get in here with starting with our lines, maybe a little more straight up and down, then begin curving to the right, and we're just zigzagging outward. Okay, come around down to about the cheekbone area, and then you can stop there for a minute. Okay. All right. Around the ears, inside the ears, I think we'll want to give it a little tuft of hair. Around the top here. Some of your lines can be a little bit longer, some can be a little bit shorter. You can play with it. Around the mane, I think in this part it would be nice to have some longer chunks of hair. I think it would make more sense that the longer the mane is, the more knotted and unruly the hair could get. So add some of that in. Okay, you can even add in another layer if you want anywhere, if you feel like it needs some more. Maybe a couple extra lines around the chin. Gotta give it some fur here too. And then next to the face here, I feel like my face is a little skinny and scrawny. I'm gonna thicken this up a bit. And then just a couple face framing lines, just to show that's where the face is ending. All right, a couple lines through here. And lastly, adding in some whiskers. I like to place a couple dots down first to show where I want the whiskers to start. Okay, just a few. And then I just press down and flick my pencil outward. Like that. By placing the dots down first, it makes it really easy to add in the whiskers for a cat because you don't have to worry about where you're going to put them. Some shading if you want, maybe get a little bit of shading around the eye, and there you have it. Sign your work, and hopefully you feel proud of what you have to show for yourself. Now, anytime you do a drawing like this where you start with guidelines, of course you would want to erase your guidelines if you still see them, but a lot of times what I like to do is just as I work, I get increasingly more confident in my lines, and then I darken them in as I go. So for instance, if I'm starting to press more firmly as I'm drawing, then the guidelines start to disappear. You just don't see them. So, sometimes my suggestion would be, instead of worrying so much about erasing, spend a little more time adding contrast by adding more darkness. And the darkness itself is going to detract from those light lines that you began with, as long as you started off nice and light in the first place. Well, thanks for watching this lion drawing demonstration. I hope you enjoy drawing a lion now yourself. And just remember, it's practice that will help you grow and get better as an artist. And the more you draw, the better and more confident you will get. Have fun. Bye.